So that's really the idea for today. I know that a lot of these items and actions are things that people probably don't even realize that you can do. So that's why we wanted to discuss this today. Some of those bulk actions include bulk upload, the bulk send feature where you can send many documents out to the same person. We'll talk through how that works. We also have like bulk moving of documents in the system, being able to move things from one folder to another when you're cleaning up your documents, things like that. So yeah, there's quite a few different things you can do. There's also bulk sign. I mean, there's a number of things. So we'll go through that today. Make sure you understand how those things work. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Just put them in the chat or the Q&A, and I'm happy to take those as they come up. Quick way of introduction, I'm Zach Kinsey, the head of sales here at Concord. I've been with Concord for over 10 years now, and I'm based out of Salt Lake City, Utah. But like I mentioned, I'm in our Austin, Texas office for the week. So thank you all for joining. If you do have any questions after this, feel free to send me a quick email. Here's my email directly. So I'm more than happy to help you. Happy to get on a call if you want to get some more in-depth information about what we're covering today. But yeah, just let me know. Let's go ahead and jump in. I think the very first place to start is going to be with the bulk upload. So a lot of you have probably already done this. The cool thing about bulk upload is you can actually do this at any time, not just when you're first getting started with Concord. So if you have a bunch of documents that you need to bring into the system, this is a great way to do it through the bulk upload. So the idea with the bulk upload is instead of uploading documents one by one, dragging and dropping them in, you're able to take a big folder and actually bring all of those documents into the system at one time. So the way to do it is actually take your folder, turn it into a zip folder, and then you'll be able to upload that into the tool. And especially with the new AI features that we have around the AI data extraction, and the new AI agents for data extraction, where you can get really specific about what's getting pulled from your documents. This is a really powerful feature because you can now upload, hundreds or thousands of documents into the system. Once they're in there, then we send the agents to work to pull out the key data points that you would like. So it's really pretty seamless. So if you're someone who has implemented in the past, but now you have more documents you want to get in, you're kind of in the middle of implementation, this bulk upload feature is definitely one that I highly recommend. And a couple things to point out, when you do a bulk upload, you can also choose the folder it's going to go into. One thing you could do is kind of put it into a general folder, and then once it's in that general folder, you can bulk move things around. So that's one option there. And then you also have the stage here. So as you upload it into the system, you can choose if you're uploading that as a draft, a signed document, or a template. So a few different options there. And then you can add some tags during that upload process also. So yeah, that's our bulk upload feature here in the tool. Happy to answer any questions you have on it. Pretty short and quick, but that's what that looks like there. Let's go ahead and talk about the next one here. I think I'm having an issue with my camera, so I'm going to just turn that off for now. But we're going to go ahead and talk about the next feature here, which is the bulk send. All right, to get to the bulk send, you're going to start out with the template inside the tool. So to do that, you can start with a template that you've already created in Concord. So we'll use this one here as an example. And once we're in our template, we can now choose what we want to do with this. So in this case, I'm going to come down to Automate Template. And we have three options here. We have our Microsoft Excel, we have our Salesforce, and we have our HubSpot option. So with the Microsoft Excel option, this is going to enable us to turn this into a template that we could then use for the bulk send process. And that I don't think worked. Let me try one more time. There we go. So as you can see now on the template, it's an automated template in the system. And the way to set up the template itself is I'm going to click edit here and I'm going to insert these fields. It's called an automated variable. So we're going to say name is going to be the first one. And actually, let me choose where I want that to go. So right here, I'm going to go name. We'll also put one in for address. Great, and we'll save it. Now, this is just like a normal template in Concord. So you can still set up even your approval workflows. You could set up all of your e-signature. So choosing how many signers you want on the document. So kind of the way you would set up a normal template inside of Concord, you can do this here. So the idea behind a bulk send template, we have a couple of use cases here. We have a lot of customers who do like annual policy updates, or they're doing like annual renewals where they send the same document out to like hundreds of different people. Maybe you have an internal company handbook and you want to send the handbook out and have different people need to sign that, over time. So there's a lot of different ways you could use this bulk send feature. So once you have your thing set up here, and I think there's a few questions coming in. Yeah, so you just go to File here, you go to Automate Template at the very bottom, and then that's when you're able to click Automate. Now that it's already there, that's when you can do a couple different things, but that's where you go to automate it. And one thing to mention here is the download Excel template. So you can do that directly from here, but I'll show you a different way to do it too. So now that we've got our template set up and ready to go, we're going to click on Start Draft. And that's going to open our screen to start the process for the bulk send. So to do that, I'm going to click download this blank Excel document, or template, I should say. And so this template is specifically for this document. Basically, it's like an Excel file that has all these different fields in it. And at the very end, we have the variables that I've added into the document. So name and address. So I can go ahead and put a title in here. I'll do a few of these so you can see how the actual bulk send works. So you'll make a list, and the cool thing about this too, the customers that I have that use it, they'll actually just keep the same Excel spreadsheet and update the spreadsheet. And so that way it's very easy for them to like send out a new batch of documents when they need to. But you can put in a description here, you can tag it. I'm just going to do number of signatures here as 2. And then this is where you're going to choose what edit rights you want to give them and when you want to invite the person to the document. You have 2 options here. You can either invite them now, so like immediately send the invitation, or you can save it for later, which means it's going to generate the document but not actually send it out from the system. And you can also choose if they have full edit rights, limited, or no edit rights. So I'm going to come in here and say, okay, we want to give them full edit rights, and I'm going to invite them now. So we'll go ahead and put in a few email addresses here. If I can type, here we go. And so as you can see, kind of just fill out your sheet. Over here, we have our automated variables. And then we also have addresses. These are just the fields that I added in. And so really, you could add in as many fields as you want and have those ready to go. So once I'm done with this, I'm going to go ahead and save it to my desktop because that's the easiest way for me to find it. So just go ahead and put on my desktop here, save it, and we're good to go. I can even close out of it if I wanted to. So now I'm going to come back into my template and I'm going to find the Excel file that I have just created. So in this case, it's right here. I click open. You can also put a personal message here. Here is the updated contract for the year or whatever. And then you can create documents. So that's going to actually generate, in this case, 3 documents. It's going to fill in the fields with the information that I put in. And as long as it works, which I think it will, then it'll be good to go. Awesome. So I'm going to click close. That's going to take us back into our document screen here. And there they are, contract 1, 2, and 3. So they have all been created. And if I go into the document itself, you can see that these fields were filled in. And the nice thing too is they just show up as plain text, but I've got Nancy and 1, 2, 3 test, and it worked like a charm. So that's how you do that. So that's our bulk send feature, being able to set up your template and then send those documents out to, many different people. That's really the idea behind it. If you have any questions, let me know. I will say the bulk send feature is not available on all of our plans. So if you're not able to access it, it may just not be on the plan that you're on. And if you have more information or more questions about that, or you want more guidance on that, just reach out to me. I'm happy to help. But that's our bulk send feature. And like I said, a lot of different use cases for it. You need to send the same policy to lots of people. Maybe you need to send a renewal document to a lot of users or a lot of customers or vendors or whatever. There's just, many different ways you can use this. I have I have a church group who uses it to send out like their permission slips every school year. That's another way you could use it. So there's just lots of different use cases here. So. Cool. Let's go ahead and move back into our inbox here inside of Horizon, which of course I'm in Horizon for now. Your system might look a little bit different than this, but the good news is the bulk actions are all going to be pretty much, the same. I mean, the bulk send's definitely the same. The bulk upload's definitely the same. Let's talk about another bulk option here. In this case, it's going to be the bulk sign. So you may or may not have known, but you can actually you can select multiple documents in your inbox to sign them directly inside of Concord. So when I go ahead and click on sign here, it's going to bring me into the sign multiple documents section. I can click sign 3 documents. It'll have me choose my signature. It's kind of a quick signature there, and then we're good to go. So that is the bulk sign. So I've just put my signature onto those documents that I had generated, and not sure what it's doing now, but but it should sign them, and then we should be good to go there. So yep, it looks like I got 2 of 3. Not sure why this one didn't get signed. Let me go take a look real quick. Well, maybe it's because the fields weren't filled. I don't know. There could be a few different reasons, but anyway, it typically works pretty well. I demo that quite often, and it works pretty well. So if you wanted to sign multiple documents at one time, or maybe you have some executives that want to do that, it is definitely easy to do that there. You can also do the same thing from this view. So if you have a bunch of documents that it's your turn to sign them, you can come into your tasks here, and then you can bulk sign from the tasks as well. So just know you've got a few different places where you can do that. Looks like I've got questions here. This is not signing up for insurance, no. This is a demo of the Concord contract management platform. So that's what we're talking about today. Great. So this is, we've talked about so far the bulk upload, the bulk send, and the bulk sign. The other one that I want to talk about, which I think is actually pretty important, especially for those of you who are admins who are like in the system a lot and kind of managing the actual documents themselves, that would actually be the bulk move capability. So being able to move things in bulk. So like, for example, I want to restructure my folders. We talk to customers all the time where somebody else set up the folder structure before they got there, and now they want to be able to come in and kind of organize things and move things around. And so you can, easily do that. So if I select all the documents here in this board of directors folder, I can easily come in and move them to a different folder. So in this case, I'll put them into strategic planning, and I'm gonna go ahead and move them. Of course, the thing that it popped up there, it said is, hey, some people might lose access because you're moving these documents. So keep that in mind, because all the document access permissions are based on the folders. So as you're moving them to different folders, you will need to make sure that the access is correct for those specific folders as well. But it is really easy to move things around in the tool. During the implementation, especially, one of the nice things now is you can upload all your documents. We can have the AI extract everything. That way we know doc types and, a number of different data points, and then we can help you bulk move those things into different sections and different areas. So anyway, that's the bulk moving in the system. I'm trying to think if there was one other one. I think that was all the ones I wanted to cover today. So we have bulk upload, bulk send, bulk sign, and then also the bulk moving of documents in the tool. Oh, there is one other one. Sorry. Forgot there. That is going to be the bulk download. So if you wanted to take a bunch of documents from the system, so for example, I've got these 30 documents here, well, 60 now because I scrolled. You can actually bulk download the documents, and this is going to download them into a zip folder, as you can see. So you'll just get one zip folder that it pulls out, and it's going to have all those documents in it, and they're going to be in whatever format they were saved in the system. So either like Word docs or PDFs, that's how they're going to show up. So you do have that option. And then the other option you have is to actually bulk export all the metadata into a specific, into like an Excel spreadsheet, basically. So I actually not sure that we have that one here. Well, we do have it right here. We have the export. We moved it basically. So in Classic, you do it through the same like kind of download thing here. In Horizon, we moved that into this export option where you can do either CSV or Excel. So, and you can actually export everything that's in your inbox, or you can just do the documents that have been selected, which is pretty cool. So you have both options. And with this, it's just going to do that Excel, a CSV file, and then you can take a look at that. With Horizon, it's only going to give you the fields that you had selected. It's going to be a lot more clean, a lot cleaner, I should say. With Classic, it probably will give you kind of like the export of everything, like all the metadata, but you can easily extract that anytime you want to. So you can bulk download all the documents, and you can also bulk download all of the actual metadata for your documents in the system. And of course, that is a permissionable item, so we don't want to make it to where anyone could just come in and download whatever they want. So you do have the ability to kind of lock that down and choose who gets to do what in the system there. So yeah, that's some of the bulk actions in Concord. If you have questions, let me know. Hopefully you've learned something today. I'm sorry that it was a little scattered. I just came in late, hustling to get in after that wreck. But hopefully you've learned something new today. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to myself and happy to help. I'm going to just put up my email one more time there. But yeah, I'll stick around for a second, put them into the chat or the Q&A if any come up. I'm happy to help. And as always, if you do have any topics for the webinars that you'd like me to cover going forward, just let me know and I'm happy to do that.